And we welcome you into this week's edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. I'm your host, Jason Ross. We'll visit with Marshall Spurbeck here in a moment, talk about the big win over Northern Colorado. But first, we're going to start with something that's really growing on campus, and that's the Green Army, which is really exciting. And to join us right now, talk about that, Angelisa Fontillis joining us, and Green Army coordinator. First of all, thank you for coming by, and tell us a little bit about the Green Army, why you got involved in this great organization.
Well, the Green Army is a student-run organization, and we go out to different athletic events. We always focus on football, of course, and our job is to really create an environment for students and for our fans to have a great time at all of our athletic events. Our job is to really create an energy and a passion for the sports and have people come out and just have a great time when they come out to our athletic events.
This is still relatively new, but the growth is incredible. What's your numbers at as far as how many members of the student body you have supporting the Green Army?
Right now, we are at about 4,500 members, and we're continually growing and continually looking for new members. So we're doing a great job in getting people to come out and have a good time.
So obviously the word has spread, but you want even more people out there. So if I'm a student watching the show, how do I get involved? How could I get a part of the Green Army?
Well, anytime we have an event, we always have a booth out, so you're always welcome to come out and sign up with us. But also, we have a website, jointhegreenarmy.com, and on there you can sign up as well. And just basically keep an eye out for our email blasts and kind of find out when our new event or our next event is.
So the first home game was an incredible experience. The team won, they beat Montana, great crowd. Green Army was everywhere. So tell us a little bit about the game day experience. If someone's a part of it, what do they get involved in?
Well, game day is always exciting for us. We always start out at the tailgate section. We start with just kind of tailgating with a lot of our students, getting students to come out, have a great time. We usually bring KSSU out and bring them with the music and stuff like that. But we start off with the Hornet Walk, escorting the team in, basically, just hyping up the crowd that's there and just going with the team. And then in-game, we do a lot of promotions, hyping up the crowd, throwing out T-shirts, towels, beads, things like that, just to really get the crowd excited and get them all kind of in the same color of green and gold. And then throughout halftime and throughout the game, we do a lot of promotions of giving away like free iPads, iPod shuffles, things like that. So always trying to just keep the crowd excited, get them excited about the game, and keep the passion and energy of the sport.
So I'm at these home games too, working in the broadcast booth. Any chance those iPads can make their way up there?
They are for students only. We try to make it a very exclusive club and try to always get our students to wear our Green Army shirts, and that's how we really kind of reward our members.
Well, Angelisa, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations on the work you're doing. Good luck in the future. And again, it's what, jointhegreenarmy.com?
Yes, jointhegreenarmy.com, and you can sign up there to be a member.
All right, well, go Hornets. Thank you for stopping by. We'll visit with Marshall Spurbeck, talk about the win. The Hornets got 14-0 over Northern Colorado. That is straight ahead.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 3.125%, APR 3.3. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. And since most people move or refinance every 5 to 7 years, they're choosing our 5-year adjustable mortgage. It's locked at an incredibly low rate for the next 5 years and can only adjust once a year after that. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. Because we're a direct lender, we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape, and there's never any upfront cost. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
All right, we welcome everybody back into Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. Jason Ross now joined by the head coach, Marshall Spurbeck. Coach, in our first segment, we actually heard a little bit about the Green Army, the student fan base that's out there supporting Hornet football. How much does that help you guys to have that student support now with the team?
Well, since I've been here, I've seen it increase each year, and it does make a difference. It makes a difference in our total amount of fans that we have at the game, the Hornet Walk, just the support on campus with them being behind us makes our players feel good.
Well, let's look back at the last game, Northern Colorado. Have you dried out and thawed out yet from that game?
Yeah, I thought I did, and then it starts raining again here today, so it seems to be following us.
Yeah, well, let's go to the game clip from that game, because it truly was something that turned into strategy. Obviously, ground game was important for you guys. They tried to get it going. How about your defense getting the shutout last week?
Defense, great job. Their first shutout for Sac State football since '94. Held them to 73 yards total offense. Their biggest gain, I believe, was a 20-yard gain on the day, and just an outstanding job by everybody up front. An outstanding job by our defensive coaches for kind of adapting their game plan and preparing themselves and preparing our kids for a great defensive game.
Well, we've got more pictures to prove that with the defense, because they really got the job done. As here's another clip where Northern Colorado has nowhere to go as they're trying to, do different things, and it was so risky to even try a pass. And that showed. Look at the rain falling there. You guys obviously experienced it, but it was brutal.
It was survival, what team was going to, make the mistake, and our defense did a nice job of keeping everything in front of them, and like you saw in the clips there, everything was just bundled up all day inside.
All right, what turned to be pretty risky for either team was when you had to punt. I mean, you never know what could happen. We got another clip here of them basically dropping a punt. It might have even hit the up back, and the ball's loose, and you guys make the most of Northern Colorado's mistake.
Yeah, we didn't even put a returner back all day. We just put everybody up there and said, let's take our chances. They'd had some previous bad snaps in some of their other games, and we knew that going in, and then with the weather the way it was, and we felt like we had a good opportunity to go get one.
On the other side, you guys had the first one blocked for Augie, but after that, I thought he had a great game punting.
Augie did a great job. He had the one pin that set up the touchdown, and a lot of credit to Jimmy Boback for his snaps. I mean, they're right on the money all day.
Well, you guys win 14-0, so there is some offense. It wasn't much, but you really wanted to go on the ground and make sure you secured the football. Here's one of your biggest plays, Jeff Fleming running for this touchdown.
Yeah, this was a design quarterback run, and we just put it in this week, so it came at the right time. And Chris Broadnex does a good job of kicking out the last man on line scrimmage there, and Jeff cuts up underneath for a big gain. Is one of the bigger plays in the afternoon.
Yeah, so obviously it looked like there was nowhere to run most of the day for either team. It was just how much of the field conditions, because we have another clip of them here where they can't run on you guys. Your defense doing a great job, but how much of it was just the overall, not the wind and the rain, but just how sloppy was the field?
The field actually was in decent shape. I think it was the rain, the cold, the wind. Is just all those factors, and that ball just gets heavier and heavier. And I think see a lot of the quarterback center exchanges. That was tough because both their hands are so cold and just trying to grip the thing. And I think both teams felt if you could just get the ball off, that was a plus in itself. All
right, Brian Hilliard didn't start for you guys, but he came in, and what a day he ended up having. He had to get a lot of carries. Here's his longest run of the day, a 15-yarder. And how much did you need the senior on this day?
Well, especially that third quarter, we put together a good drive there where we kind of changed the field and ended up not scoring, but punting and pinning them back in deep in their own territory. And then our defense came out and got the fumble, which I think is coming up here pretty quick.
Yeah, that's going to be our next clip. Before we get to that, you had one pass attempt, called back, pass interference. It was a great catch by Hendershot. Did you ever think, all right, we're going to surprise them, we're going to throw, or was it always run the whole game?
I made my mind up that we were going to run it all day, and we got into a situation late in the game where it was 4th and long, and we had the ball, in the plus 20 area. I just figured, hey, the worst thing that can happen here is we fumble the ball right here, and the defense goes on the field, or if we throw an interception in the end zone or something bad happens, at least it's in the end zone. And it worked out good. Jeff made a great throw, and John made a nice catch. It's just unfortunate we had a PI.
Yeah, but then that's where you guys pinned them, and that's the play you're talking about. Let's see the next score. It's defense. It was Coleman from last week. He was on the set with us, and he ends up with the great play here defensively. Osagi with the strip, and Coleman's right there.
Osagi came up with the big hit there, gets the ball out, and David Coleman is Johnny on the spot and picks up a touchdown for us.
So 14-0, no lead is ever safe. 14 felt like a lot, though. How critical was that second score?
Well, you're right. I mean, you're winning 7-0. All of a sudden, late in the game, they get a touchdown, go for a 2-pointer, and there's the game. And so when we got that second score, it really gave us some relief that it was probably over.
Yeah, and the fear of that kind of game, so unique to play in situation. I'm sure it was just a relief just to get out of there.
Anything can happen. I mean, it was one of those days where, both teams are just surviving, very similar to the Davis game that a lot of our fans saw here last year, where you're just trying to hold on to the ball and make sure that you don't make that key mistake. And we made less mistakes than they did on that day.
All right, well, the Hornets got the win 14-0. We'll visit with our Player of the Week. That is next.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
All right, it is that time for our Paramount Equity Mortgage Player of the Week after the Hornets' victory 14-0 over Northern Colorado. I'm Jason Ross. Of course, we've got the coach, Marshall Spurbeck, and our Player of the Week, Dustin Pfaff, part of that offensive line. Dustin, congratulations on the win and being our Player of the Week.
Thank you.
So from the player's perspective, how crazy and wild and windy, wet, just that whole Saturday afternoon for you guys?
It was tough. It was just freezing cold out there. I mean, my hand was numb. Everyone was numb. Everyone was all huddled up on the sidelines.
Yeah. And being the center and part of that offensive line that ran every attempt, I mean, there wasn't a pass officially. How about just the exchange with Jeff Fleming? How difficult was that, which is something you guys can do all the time, but with the conditions, how difficult was that?
It was really tough. Usually I'd fire the snap back there and I'd get off really quick, but in those conditions I was kind of having to hold it back there and couldn't really fire off very well, and it was really tough. Just feeling the ball, getting a good grip on it was pretty hard.
And then, Coach, you told us earlier, part of the game plan, though, is to trust Dustin and Jeff to, even though what seems simple, sometimes it would get wet, the ball would get loose. I mean, that's a basic, elementary play, but not always in those conditions.
Like I said earlier, just getting the quarterback center exchange was, if we could get that done, we felt like we were going to have a successful play. And I think Dustin and Jeff both did a great job all day of managing that.
Well, let's look at some of those exchanges that start with you, Dustin, and result in some Hornet positive plays offensively. As we've got a play here for Brian Hilliard. He runs basically right up the middle, right behind you and by you. And, part of the run game plan all day, do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking? Or, I mean, it was all run blocking for you this day.
I like run blocking a little bit better, but it's all the same to me. Just get to go out there and throw some blocks anyway. So.
Yeah. How confident were you knowing that at some point this game plan was going to be all runs, that it would work for you guys?
I'm pretty confident in our offensive line. We're coming together really well, so I felt like we could kind of put the run game on our shoulders and just run it all day.
Yeah. Let's look at another one of those plays for Sacramento State, really concentrating on the ground game because it was all runs, 51 runs, ended up with 177 yards on the ground. This one, you kind of eliminate, Coach, the risk of a handoff and just go right to Fleming.
Yeah, and Jeff does a nice job there, and as well as our offensive line, open up, hold. The back, the quarterback, everybody always gets credit for those great runs, but those great runs don't happen unless you have great play by your offensive line. And I felt that on Saturday our guys did a nice job up front, led by Dustin.
Yeah, and let's look at another one here, Dustin. You guys are pinned here. This is always a risky play when you're back near your goal line. It's a wet field. It's not a big run, but just to get out of there, how important, are those situations where you guys have to be on your game right there?
Yeah, those are really important, especially backed up. Right there in our own goal line, it's super wet. Yeah, that was very important.
You ever played a game quite like that? I mean, that wet, that windy, that cold?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Not really, yeah. That was a new situation for me.
And so overall, Coach, the offensive line obviously was fabulous this week. But looking at the season, the perspective on the whole group through 6 games, how would you rate the offensive line?
I think we're coming together, like Dustin said. We're making improvement each week, and we're taking care of some of our finer details to be a great run team. I think we still can make some improvements that will help us get there. But I'm pleased with where we are at the midpoint in the season.
All right, Dustin, your future. Are you graduating coming up, right?
Yeah, this semester.
All right, so that's going to be exciting in December in your major.
Organizational communications.
All right, and how about kind of future plans? Do you have a vision of what you'd like to do after this year?
No, it's kind of all up in the air right now. I would like to stay in football, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes when I graduate.
Yeah, and a lot of guys, Coach, you guys groom them to play here and possibly on, and that's got to be exciting that guys want to leave this program and keep their football career going.
Yeah, I think Dustin would be a great coach. I mean, he brought that up just a second ago, and he's got a good understanding of the game. He has a passion for it. He's a good teammate. I mean, the year that he was a backup his junior year, did a nice job of supporting everybody and being a good backup, which is hard to do sometimes.
All right, Dustin, good luck in the future, and thanks for being and congratulations on being our Player of the Week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Dustin Pfaff. We'll learn more about the academics and athletics here at Sacramento State. That is straight ahead.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 3.125%, APR 3.3%. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. And since most people move or refinance every 5 to 7 years, they're choosing our 5-year adjustable mortgage. It's locked at an incredibly low rate for the next 5 years and can only adjust once a year after that. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. Because we're a direct lender, we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape, and there's never any upfront cost. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Well, it's time to zero in on what these athletes are doing off the field, as there's a lot of hard work that they do on the field, but there's people that help the Sacramento State student athletes get the job done in the classroom as well. So let's meet a couple of those guys right now. Paul Edwards, Bob Shook. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. Well, Paul, let's start with you as the Director of Student Athlete Resource Center. Tell us a little bit about what that is and what your role is on campus helping these athletes.
Sure. We're one of the comprehensive success centers on campus for academic support. Obviously, with the student athlete, we work with all 20 of our Division I programs. We start at the beginning with admissions and recruitment, get involved with the coaches, get involved with the families. We see it all the way through to graduation. That includes mandatory advising, study tables, working with tutors, mentors. We have life skills programs that we offer, guest speakers. It's just from start to finish, we're trying to get the athlete from point A to point B being graduation.
And those rates have shown a dramatic increase. Why do you think there's been that success? What do you guys attribute that to?
3 real keys. I have an amazing job that I get to come to every day and work with 6 of the greatest people that know their job, that are self-motivated and do a wonderful job on my staff. So they make my job really easy. I also have a great support from the administration, starting with Dr. Gonzalez, all the way to the Vice President, my AVP for Student Affairs, the athletic administration. Everybody's really involved. And then lastly, the coaching staff. The coaching staff has really bought into an understanding of recruiting that key athlete but also recruiting those students that are capable of doing great things in the classroom. So it's been an easy job for us.
Well, Bob Shook, you coached with this team. Now you're a football academic advisor. Talk specifically, I guess, about the football program and the growth they've had in the academics.
Had a lot of successes. I think a lot of it is attributed to Coach Spurbeck and the plan that was in place when I got here. I just became an adjunct, actually. My role in this, the coaches, each position coach meets with his players once a week and has a plan that they go through, some forms that they use, the study table that we use 6 hours a week that they're required to do if they're a first-year student or below a 2.6 GPA. But I think the power we have is in the coaches being so involved, and then my role is in keeping the communication alive between the coaches and the academic world, that too often there's a bridge in there that does not get spanned.
And then, finally, as we're short on time here, but the numbers for football and athletics in general would probably stagger people to hear the success rate that's going right now as far as GPA.
Football, we're carrying right around a 2.9 team GPA, which is excellent. I've never been around a program with so much academic success. I think the other part of this thing is our seniors are graduating. We haven't had any of our recruited seniors who have failed to graduate in the last 3 years, which I think is a huge testament to what Coach Spurbeck and what we've been able to put together in our office.
All right, well, you guys deserve a lot of credit for your hard work, too, and we commend the student athletes for their work. We will step aside, take the break. When we come back, we'll check in with Ruben Volta and the women's volleyball program. That is coming up.
Leadership begins here. Not everyone ends up on top. You've got to work hard and be smart about your next move. So, what does it take to be the best? At Sacramento State, it's about academic excellence. Football players who know what it means to give everything to be the best. New, high-tech, state-of-the-art facilities. A solid university-wide commitment to being a new powerhouse. We're taking it to the next level and beyond. State-of-the-art training facilities and campus amenities, respected and effective educators, and the passion to develop leaders rivaling any NCAA FCS school anywhere. This is how it's done when you're serious about winning. We're ready for whatever's next with opponents like Stanford, Colorado, Oregon State, Washington, and Arizona State. The challenge is immediate and it's real. At Sacramento State, there's a lot to be proud of. And now, we're taking it to the next level. Sacramento State. Leadership begins here.
And right now we change gears, focus in on another sport on campus. This is a sport that's been very successful here at Sacramento State, and that is women's volleyball. It's got a great tradition, and now joining us, their head coach, Ruben Volta. Now, 4th year for you, Ruben. Congratulations on the past success and how this season's going already. Looks like you guys are on a bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, we're certainly playing with a lot of confidence right now and trying to keep this winning streak going. We've been playing really well at home, and we've got some challenges coming up. We head out to the Montanas this weekend. So 11-9 overall, but I'm sure as the coach, you're really pleased with, 5-1 in the Big Sky? Yes, and particularly we've won 2 road conference games already, and last year we really struggled on the road. So we're tied for first right now. These are the last 2 matches in the first half of the season, so we're in a pretty good position if we can continue this little win streak.
So tell us about your team. What do you like about this year's squad?
You know, we're a really well-rounded team. We're really good defensively. We pass the ball well. We're probably the toughest serving team in the conference, which has helped us out blocking and makes the game a little more predictable. So we're just playing well sort of in all facets of the game, including attacking, which last year we were not one of the strongest attacking teams in the conference. So.
Well, we do have some footage of your team in action, and right now you've got great competition in league. You mentioned you get Montana State coming up, and I know fans can come out here in a couple of Saturdays. I believe it'll be the 21st when you guys host Seattle. We talked Green Army a little bit earlier. Just the fan base, I think, in supporting your team. How much does that help you guys?
Oh, it's great. This past weekend we had good fan turnout for both matches, and the gym I think was really energetic, particularly the Green Army night on Friday night. I think we had close to 1,000 fans in the gym, and it was rocking and loud in there. And I know our players really look forward to playing at home and really enjoy the energy from the crowd.
Yeah, we got some great shots there of your team. And, you know, when you look at your squad and the player, the style of athlete you're trying to recruit here at Sacramento State, there's so much growth along the campus. Certainly with volleyball, we talked about the great tradition. But what's the style of player? What kind of player are you trying to bring into the Hornet program?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously they need to have a level of athleticism and jumping ability and that sort of thing, but I really look for players that really work hard and play the game with a good attitude. You know, volleyball is such a fast sport. There's just not a lot of time out there to sort of be a nervous player and sort of be a quiet player. You need to play with a lot of energy and be aggressive. So. And
your story is pretty amazing. You played here on a club team at Sacramento State, won a national championship with that group, a volunteer with Debbie Kohlberg, and now the head coach guiding the program. It's a pretty amazing story, Coach.
Yeah, pretty lucky, I tell you. You know, I've got a lot of friends in coaching, and they can't believe. They always remind me how lucky I am that I got to stay basically in my hometown in Northern California, and a place I went to school, volunteered for a couple of years, sort of worked hard, and became the assistant, and was really lucky to get the head coaching job. So
we'll keep up the good work, and good luck this weekend in Montana.
Thanks.
All right, that's Ruben Volta. We will take the break, come back. We'll bring in the head coach of the Hornets, Marshall Spurbeck, to wrap things up. That's straight ahead.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
All right, it's time to wrap things up. Jason Ross back here with the head coach, Marshall Spurbeck. Thanks again to all our guests. It's been a jam-packed show. And, Coach, having a bye week, I guess, is maybe kind of nice to recharge the batteries and get ready for 4 of the final 5 at home.
Yeah, it's a good week for us to get caught up on some recruiting, which we're getting after this week, and get freshened up and get our guys healed up a little bit, get a little extra treatment in the treatment room, and just try to get ready to go.
And finally, for you, too, on a personal level, you get a chance to watch your son Thomas play a little football, high school football. You don't really get that opportunity much, but you'll get to do that this week.
Yeah, he plays Saturday against Pleasant Grove, so get a chance to go out and watch him play. It'll be fun.
So do you evaluate as a dad or as a former quarterback, as a coach? How do you do that?
I stay clear. Like most kids with their dad, he's got his own answers. He's got a good coach over there, so I try to stay clear.
Yeah, well, we wish him certainly the best of luck. Coach, enjoy the bye week, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, we hope you all enjoyed this week's edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. We'll see you back here next week.